Hi, my name's Terry Parke, and I'm recording my first podcast. I'm going to be using some notes from an article I wrote earlier today. There it is. I'm going to try to hold this camera still, which is hard for me. My name's Terry Parke. I'm a licensed mental health clinician. I have a website at terryswritings.com. My email is tparke@terryswritings.com, and I hope to hear from you soon. Today we're going to talk about growing up and how it's hard to do. You ever wonder what makes it so hard? Ever wonder about what makes growing up so hard? A good friend was talking to me about this morning. We were talking about being frustrated. I've also noticed that the kids who are around 20-ish, which is my kid's age, are not nearly in the rush to grow up that I was in. Her specific frustration this morning was about an adult in her life who is not nearly as big of a fan of sharing the tasks related to maintaining their home as she is. She'd been talking with her dad, who had noticed the same frustration occurring among females he knows, and associated with women he knows that have some frustration with men. I would venture to guess that this is not age or gender related as much as it is getting along. But regardless, that's our topic for the day. I like things done, me, Terry Parke, in a specific way. For instance, when we're all folding laundry together, something we do less and less often since my kids live in Bloomington, Indiana, while they attend Indiana University, and I live in Noblesville, Indiana with my husband. I like things stacked by the drawer they belong in once they're put away. Therefore, pants go in a pile, socks go in a pile, and t-shirts go in a pile, just depending on their owner. Seems pretty easy, right? I can tell you this has not been an easy training for 2 of my 3 trainees. One of my sons has a brain that's similarly organized to mine, so he automatically what I call doing it the right way. My other son, who's a little bit craftier in how he completes his tasks, learned to fold very, very slowly. He also gave me a big hug when he was around 12 or 10 or 8, which of course I appreciated. I noticed that he was much more slow about getting his task completed than the rest of us who were folding and not hugging. Today, I watch as 20-somethings are working when I'm different places, such as restaurants, coffee shops, and clothing establishments. One of the things I notice is that the teens and 20-somethings are really good at completing specific tasks. Frequently, if I ask them to do something, they put their heads down, focus internally, and they complete it. The other things I've noticed is that in the community where I live, there are older, pseudo-retired people, since they're not fully retired, since they're working, who are helping the youth learn to wait on people. I get called ma'am, sweetie, honey, etc. more now than when I was younger, more spoiled and cuter, and got called princess. I never took that one for a compliment at the time, mostly due to the fact that it was not intended to be one. A couple of questions I leave you with today. What helps you complete tasks without being told to do them? What is your intrinsic or internal enjoyment at completing things that are necessary, and how do you go about getting your needs met? What do you think is something, just one thing, that you can do to help others around you complete their tasks about which you tend to micromanage? I tend to micromanage laundry folding. I recognize that. If the other person is a child, I encourage you to help them come up with you a way to complete a small task, if you give them some positive reinforcement for, that you want them to complete without your assistance. For instance, if you want them to get dressed in the morning without you reminding them, then how can you work together to make sure that that happens? If the person you're wishing would complete tasks is more of a life partner, a spouse, or a loved one, I encourage you to talk together at a time when neither one of you are angry about a couple of tasks that you each wish the other would do more often. You can have a conversation where each of you is allowed to speak and to be heard, so one speaks, the other listens, things such as that, about an idea that you have, and then you listen to the feedback about how your loved one or spouse or life partner or roommate feels about the task. I encourage you to try that out. I also encourage you to visit my website at terryswritings.com. Email me if you have any thoughts or questions at tparke, that's TPARKE, at Terry's Writings, so TERRISWRITINGS.com. And I will get back with you, and I hope you enjoy your Monday. Thanks.